What you're hearing is Hardie Fiber Cement Siding living up to its reputation as the siding that helps resist weather damage, no matter what Mother Nature throws its way. James Hardie knows how important a reputation is, especially when you're a home builder. That's why Hardie products withstand the elements better than wood-based siding, with styles to match their strength. Because when home builders work with us, we deliver our best so they can look their best. Protect your reputation with exterior products by James Hardie.
With Ruth and Ange, finding the funny.
Greetings. Greetings to you, Pat E. I saw something quite funny. Straight in. That's what I like. You're straight in. We say greetings, we're straight in. About keeping plants alive. You know, people are like, oh, I killed that plant, I killed this plant. Somebody's just put up on Instagram, did I kill a plant? Or did the plant not have what it takes to thrive in a fast-paced environment? That's actually quite true. That is true. Is it me, or is it the fact that the plant couldn't keep up with the pace of my life? Always out, always doing things, always keeping it real. And the plant
Get
was
your
like,
own water.
Yeah, do your own thing. Don't you do photosynthesis or something? Do that to keep yourself alive.
Yeah. What do you think I am? Some sort of slave to plants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that was quite funny.
That is a good.
Did the plant not have what it takes to survive in a fast-paced environment?
Although I don't think my environment is really particularly fast-paced.
No.
So I think then it probably is my fault. Oh, sorry. Hang on. That thing did again.
Oh, we did that
thing
again.
Margs is just calling me back.
Oh, answer it.
Shall I answer it?
Answer it.
Should I put her on the loudspeaker?
Put her on the loudspeaker.
Hi.
Hello, Margaret. You're actually currently live on the podcast.
Oh.
Would you like to say something to the nation?
Hello, nation. Enjoy.
Are you in some sort of auditorium?
I'm in a choir, aren't I?
Oh, yeah, I did remember that after I tried to call you, yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought it was you, and I thought,
You thought,
so
shit.
do you want me to ring back when I've finished?
Ring back when you finish, Margie, yeah.
Okay, all right then.
Okay, darling.
Get on with your podcast.
Many
Bye.
thanks. Bye-bye, darling. Bye. Bye. She's just hung up.
Bye. Well, you were saying bye like 1,000 times. Bye.
I love doing that.
Do you?
Bye.
How do you feel about a bye-bye?
I actually like a bye-bye.
Do you?
Yeah.
I can understand.
Bye.
I can understand why you would like a bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye.
Whereas I think saying bye-bye is a bit weird.
I love a bye-bye.
Do you?
I love a bye-bye, and I also love, like I just
bye.
Just showed you there. Bye. Okay, then, yeah. Bye, Margaret. Bye.
Now, I have just been to see my fat doctor, my weight loss doctor.
You have? Yes. How did that go with your fat doctor?
Oh, I've seen off another 2 stone. Very happy about that. I've lost 6 stone in 6 months. But I've also found out I've got seasonal asthma.
Asthma? She's got asthma.
Yeah, I've got an inhaler. I've got to use an inhaler.
Is it a blue one? Is it a bit of blue?
It's a bit of blue. And she said my chest is quite rattly. And she got me to blow into one of those peak flow things.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, I think you know." And I was telling her that I get quite wheezy at night, and you know all of that jazz. She said, "Oh, I think we should give you an inhaler." So I said, okay.
Do you think our listeners are interested in the fact that you've been given an inhaler?
Probably not.
No.
You know, it's big news. It's not really big news, isn't it?
That's true, actually. Yeah,
that is your classic.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I've
big
got
news,
big
not
news.
big news.
It's not really big news.
Anyway, we've got the poll results.
Poll. Tell me the Panto poll.
Okay, so I asked, is the Panto dickish? Okay.
Yeah.
40%, 125 votes. I love the Panto.
Oh, okay, yeah.
24%, 75 votes. I hate the Panto.
Right.
36%, 111 votes. I'm Panto neutral. Right. So I'm actually in the minority.
Yeah,
I
people
thought I
are
would be.
either neutral to it, don't have an opinion, or I mean, the highest one was I love the panto, 125 votes.
Yeah.
So
I think that sort of depicts the world we're living in.
I think it depicts our listenership, actually.
Yes, that they
Yeah.
are heavily into pantos
Heavily
and I'm
into
not.
panto, and I think it very much depicts, you know, if there was a sentence that would sum up you and I, Ange hates the panto, Patty loves
You
the
love
panto.
it.
I mean, that is basically
That's you
us
and
in a
me.
nutshell. Can't be arsed with it. Hates all the shouting out. Hates
Yeah.
the heath behind you. Hates the
Yeah.
vibrancy. Patty loves it in there. Whoop
Yeah.
whoop whoop. Hands up.
Wants to
whoa.
be in a panto for 4 days.
Yeah, I only want to do it for a couple of days. I don't want to be in there Boxing Day. I don't want to be in there New Year's Day. I don't want to be in there New Year's Eve. Now, we had a lot of feedback from our episode last week. I don't know if you had lots of messages.
No, and also because, just so everyone's clear, gang, I'm currently locked out of the FTF Instagram. So if you've been sending messages,
There was quite a few messages in there when I went in today.
yeah, because I'm not there. I'm not there doing the work and meeting with our people.
Well, there was a lot of messages about how much people loved your pilgrim chat last week.
Well, I don't know any of this stuff because I haven't been able to access the page and access the people. Sorry about that, guys. It's Patty's fault. She did something, changed the settings. I've been locked out. She hasn't sent me the thing to get me back in.
And there was quite a few unread messages.
Right, well, you better explain some of this to me then, hadn't you? Because this is not okay.
Genuinely moody. Lots of people were just saying how lovely they found it to hear you talking about turning 50, and that, you know, a couple of people were talking about the fact that they sort of went through a similar thing, and it was really nice to have such a lovely chat about wanting to get to grips with yourself and, you know, all of that stuff. So just some really lovely feedback about how much people had found it helpful that we had a bit of conversation about that. So
that is, I mean, I had a couple of messages from people.
You really elongated that.
Yeah,
I
really used the full breath.
You did.
And I had one in particular from Lucy, our Lucy at Lucy Loves Rich.
Lucy Loves Rich.
And she just said similar sort of thing. I loved your chat, Angie. Please, will you just keep us posted with what you do and what this year looks like for you, whether you go on your pilgrimage or you don't, or you do whatever you're going to do. Keep us updated.
And there was lots of that in the FTF box that people want to know, like, if you go on a pilgrimage. Lots of people said they found it funny when I said we could go together and you instantly went, I'm doing it on my own. That created quite a lot of, you know, fun for people. Guffawing, yeah. But yeah, lots of people said how much they loved it and how much they were...
How it resonated. Did it resonate?
Yeah, and just how invested they now feel in terms of, you know, finding out what happens. What?
I'm going to have to go on a pilgrimage now.
You're going to have to... Bloody hell, you're going to have to pilgrimage. You're going to have to pilgrimage the shit out of this year. I think you need to go on more than one.
Really?
I think you need to do a beginning of the year and the end of the year.
Well, I can't do the beginning of the year. That's now.
Well, I think you need to get yourself ready to go. Get yourself up to the Outer Hebrides.
I have done a bit of research. I've just been having a look at... I just thought I'd do a bit of a Google.
Because Dad did one in Scotland, didn't he?
But did he go on it, though, or did he not in the end? Because of the weather or something?
Yeah, maybe he didn't.
Because of weather.
Because of weather.
But yeah, I just sort of, you know, there are loads of different ones you can do. They vary in cost. They vary in length.
Right.
You know, you can sort of do a 5-day or a 7-day, a 10-day. You can walk, you know, 150 mile. You can walk 10 mile. You can, you know,
how many days would you like to do it over?
I memean, I think ultimately to get the most out of something like that, I think you've got to say at least 7 days, haven't you?
At least.
Because otherwise it's like, yeah, if you do a 5-dayer, you get there, you get through day one, you think, okay, this is It'll either go to one of two ways. Either I'll do the first day and go, this is amazing, I'm loving it, I can't wait, and I wish I'd done longer. Or I'll get there and I'll go, wow, this is actually a lot more than I thought.
Well, I think you will probably feel quite lonely in the first day.
Yeah.
I think the first days would be the hardest as you acclimatise to your life feeling different and not the same kind of
pace.
Yeah, and just walking and with your thoughts, and it's hard to settle your brain down when you've lived in a world that is like social media, getting
Constant.
in the car, doing to quieten your mind is quite difficult. So I think the first couple of days is probably potentially what you would find the hardest.
Adjustment. Yeah.
And then you'll probably get into it. And I reckon it would be day like 3 or 4 that you think, oh, I wish I'd done longer. And then you're coming to the end if you're doing 5 days.
Exactly. That's what I thought. I thought it was a bit pointless doing 5.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And you can also do guided or non-guided.
Would you do guided?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's a bit safer, isn't it?
Especially with my problem with directions.
Oh, can you imagine? If you did non-guided, you wouldn't just be 7 days. You'd be gone 7 months. We'd be out looking for you.
Yeah.
She's out in the Outer Hebrides somewhere. You'd be like Harold Bishop. Do you remember when Harold Bishop went missing in Neighbours and his glasses just washed up on the sea? And then miraculously he just came back, which was really weird. And he'd lost his memory and stuff, hadn't he? Like he didn't remember who anyone was.
Yeah.
That'd be you.
What happens to me?
You would be Harold Bishop take 2. You'd have to start saying, "Oh, Madge." That's what he used to do. Do you remember he used to call Lou Carpenter Jelly Belly? That is some great. Oh, Matthew just shook his head at me. It was the other way around. Lou Carpenter used to call Harold Bishop Jelly Belly.
Good eye there, Jelly Belly.
Look at all of this Neighbours info that I've got locked away.
Yeah, you have got it locked away.
Yeah,
I remember Toadfish.
Oh, Toadfish. And then his brother Swordfish.
Was he?
Yeah, he had a brother Swordfish. Oh, Matthew's shaking his head.
You've made that
Stonefish. His brother was Stonefish.
Swordfish.
Well, there is a swordfish. Why is that funny? Why is that funny?
Just because you obviously going in with the sort of similar animal vein, like Toad.
Yeah. But there is a swordfish. Oh, anyway, this could go on for ages, and I think this will probably be edited out because it's just me going, oh no, Matthew's shaking his head.
Matthew is the font of all Neighbours knowledge.
Yeah. Marty knows it all. Anyway, people are interested in your pilgrim.
Well, I really, and if Patty gives me the sodding login to the sodding FTF Insta page, I will respond to you guys, okay? And apologies that I haven't been ignoring you or just not being asked. It's Patty's fault.
Talking about the FTF Instagram, I did send you one of the pictures that we received, which is getting out of hand. They've actually brought out now. Yes.
I saw that.
Hot cross pies.
Yes.
And Claire, it was actually Claire Thomas that sent us this, who sent us the mince pie rant. Yeah. She won moment of the year.
Yes.
She sent us a picture of it, and she just put, "It's a mince pie in disguise with a fake alias. I'm lost for words."
I mean,
hot cross pies. That's basically a mince pie.
It looks rank.
It looks
disgusting. It looks disgusting, yeah. Mr. Kipling.
Mr.
Delicious
Kipling,
and light, reduced sugar.
Hot cross pies. But she's right. It's a mince pie in disguise with a fake alias.
Well, we have talked about the mince pie, the
hot cross bun.
Hot cross buns before, haven't we?
Now, we have had, in the FTF chat, which I did pick up and see, we have had 2 people send us some of the latest M&S hot cross buns, one of which is rhubarb and custard.
Oh, no.
You can get a rhubarb and custard. Now, I would like to try that.
That'll be disgusting.
No, I love an alternative hot cross bun.
No, again,
I love the chocolate ones.
Just to keep it as a hot cross bun. I don't need a chocolate version. I don't need an apple version. I don't need a rhubarb and custard version. I don't need any other version. Wow. Just the bun with some raisins and sultanas.
And some spices.
And some
Spice.
spices.
We want it to be spiced.
Spices. Put me
Yeah.
some spices in.
But yeah, a hot cross pie.
That is disgusting.
And it is a mince pie with a fake alias. It is.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
it's
You're
basically
totally right, Claire.
fruit and stuff like that in the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, I am also lost for words. Claire Thomas is right. We're keeping mince pies right the way through to the spring now.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
They should be a seasonal dish.
Treat rather than dish. I'm not sure anybody's serving a mince pie as a main at a dinner party. Here we are. Here's your main, a seasonal dish. Sweet mincemeat and a bit of pastry.
Sweet mincemeat.
Well, you'd have to be clear that it was sweet mincemeat, wouldn't you? Because otherwise people, she's done like a meat and potato pie. No, a sweet mincemeat with a flaky pastry top.
Flaky pastry topper.
Absolute classic scenes.
Patty, you told me you've got some tits.
I've got a tits.
Give me your big fat juicy tits.
Now, I actually wrote this down pre the Christmas period.
Oh, okay. So it's a one you've been hanging on to.
Well, I just remembered it and was like, oh, I've got it. So I wrote this down on the 20th of December.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, share. Get it off your chest.
The thing that is getting on my shitting tits, right, is trying to highlight something on a Word document. Because that is a crock of shit. Why haven't they, especially if you don't use like a handheld mouse, if you use one of the like track pads.
Yeah, the track pads. Yeah.
Why have they not invented something that is easier to do this? So you just want to, highlight 2 lines, yeah?
Yeah.
Right? So you get to the end of the second line, the whole fucking document highlights. You're like, no, you haven't really checked. So you just hit delete. You're like, oh my God, I've got to undo all that because I don't want to get rid of all of it, right? Or the other thing that happens is you can't highlight the first fucking word in the sentence. You can get everything else and you're sat there for ages like, and so then you manage to get the first word in the sentence and it does the 3 lines above it. No, Microsoft Word. I want to highlight 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Stop fucking around.
Yeah.
Putting the whole document in blue. I spent ages. Actually, I reckon
on the 20th of December, probably. Yeah.
I'd written out an email and I realised that there was a couple of things in it that felt a bit too forceful. And it was going to somebody senior.
Okay.
Right? And I reread it and was like, Ruth, you need
to take that out.
Just back off it.
Remove that.
Like, take out your pissy arsiness. This is going to a senior.
Yeah.
And I sat there, I want to say, for about 3/4 of an hour. Trying to fucking highlight just a bit. So then I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to have to do it word by word because this stupid piece of shit cannot just give me the 2 lines that I want to highlight. So I had to put the cursor in the middle of and I had to every single fucking word. And you can't hold delete down. Oh no, because if you hold delete down, you'll take out 8,000 lines because the cursor just goes mental. Oh, you want to delete something? Delete. And before you know it, you're like, fucking hell, I've lost half my bloody email. It's really annoying.
That is so true.
It pisses.
I think that's probably one of the best tits you've ever brought.
Yes. Isn't that true? Isn't it annoying?
I mean, those track pads get on my tits.
Oh my
the track pad.
God!
Stop
the
it.
ones on our work laptops are so hit and fucking miss.
Yeah. You know, you're like, oh, is it 1 finger, 2 fingers, up, down? Do I press it there? Do I press it somewhere else?
Well, what I've started using on my work computer now, which is going to crack you up, is the pen. So we've got ours a touch screen, and you get a little pen with it, which you can you can sign. Like if I
sign
get a document,
docs and stuff.
But you can actually use it as like a stylus. And I have got heavily into that back in the 2024. Oh my God, I am all over it. I get it out every morning from underneath and I'm holding it and I'm scrolling up and down and I'm double tapping things and I'm going up. Oh my
So
God.
does that work for your highlighting then? Can you use that for highlighting?
You can, but it's still a ball ache.
A
because
dickhead
you have
thing.
to double click on the word and then get this
Drag.
tiny little blue circle with the pen and drag it. You can't be too quick. Oh no, because that fucker will. Why does it highlight the whole document?
I know, yeah, I know exactly
It
what you mean.
goes so quick.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like you're doing the sentence, bang, the whole
Bang, the
document.
whole thing's
Yeah.
gone. It's like, oh
Yeah.
no, I didn't want to do that. So you've got to click
No.
off that. Scroll back down, scroll back down, scroll back down. Find the right word. Try it. And it's when you can get everything but that one first word. And you're like, oh my God, piece of shit.
That's when sometimes I'm like, just give me a pad and a pen.
Give
Sol.
me carrier
Pencil.
pigeon.
Yeah.
I will send this. You'll get it in 4 to 6 weeks
Yeah.
via the pigeon.
I
but
mean,
I
just
won't have to
think
be
how
ground.
much that would lessen your workload.
Oh,
You know, if it wasn't like an instant
yeah.
sending
Well,
that, she's got it now.
Let's
Read
bring
it,
back
deal with it.
faxes.
Fax.
Let's
Fax
bring
that
back
shit,
the
Sharon.
fax. Because fax machines never worked.
No.
It didn't matter how many times. Sorry, I can't get its fax. You'll have to wait till you see me in person in 3 weeks. Sorry about that. Or they phone you if you got the fax. No, I haven't got it. It's not
Well,
come.
I've sent
it's
it.
sent it. This
Yeah.
no, it's not come through.
Okay, well, I'm seeing you in 2 weeks. I'll give it to you
Just
then.
give it to me then.
Yeah.
Let's just circle back in 2 weeks' time.
It's true though, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Bring back the fax.
Bring back the facsimile. Bring back the pigeon. Facsimile.
Bring back the pager. What about the pager?
Pages. Dad loved his pager, didn't he?
He had a pager for years. Loved
I
it.
think he felt quite important with the pager.
Oh, I think it was the first. You know, unless you had a really
Sort of
flash
technology.
car. Unless you had a flash car like a Jag, which had a car phone in it, because that was the first, wasn't it? Car phones.
Brick phones.
But if you didn't have the money for that, it was the first on-the-go contactable device, wasn't it?
Yeah, you clip it to your
Belt
clip.
You'd have to phone. Somebody would answer and say, "What would you like your page to say? Are you going?" Mum says, "Are you going to be home for dinner?" She's putting in the fish fingers. Okay, I'll just read that back to you. Mum says, "Are you going?" Yes, that's right. Thank you. And then obviously it'd beep. And because he was a salesman, he had to find a phone box to pull in, ring us. I'm not going to be in. Tell your mum I'm not going to be in for dinner. Okay, that's why for dinner. Right.
It was though, wasn't it? It
Yeah.
was quite a thing, wasn't it? Your pages.
What I want to know is, what about if you wanted to send something filthy via a page? You had to speak to that woman.
Yeah.
I can't wait to be naughty with you later.
Yeah.
I've got my sexy thong on. Okay, I'm just going to read that back to you. Is that right? Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
I have just had my clitoris pierced. I'll just read that back to you.
Yes.
You have just had your clitoris pierced.
Yes, that's right. Thank you. Yes, I'll send it now. Classic. Absolute classic.
Well, you know, them were the days, Pats, in my eyes. Them's were your days.
Things that shouldn't be embarrassing but are. Things that shouldn't be embarrassing. Things that shouldn't be embarrassing but are. What are your things?
Now then, we have had a great Justin in
Okay.
from Claire Voiku. Not pulling up close enough to the barrier at a car park and having to get out.
Absolutely brilliant.
That is one of the most embarrassing things.
But I think it's often made worse. You haven't got in close enough, but you're too close to be able to open
get
the
out.
door.
Yeah.
So you've either got to do a right stretch over,
Yeah.
or you've got to reverse a bit.
Yeah.
If there's a car behind you, that is even more embarrassing. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Sorry. Can you just...
You just go back a little bit.
I've not...
I can't.
Yeah, sorry, I can't... I'm not close enough, but I'm too close to open my door. What about though when you get to the car park barrier and you put your ticket in and the barrier doesn't rise?
Oh, yeah.
That is
annoying.
also embarrassing. And you're like...
Yeah.
And then you have to press the help button.
Yeah. And then you have to wait for
in.
someone to answer it.
I've put my ticket in, but nothing's happened. Right,
Yeah.
Are you sure you've put your ticket in? Yeah. Your people beeping behind.
I know.
Okay, well, the barrier normally... Okay, mate, but it hasn't. I don't know what to do. Well, I've not had this problem all day. I know, pal, but
But it's happening to me right now.
I'm not lying. If
Yeah.
it have opened, I would. I don't want
I'd
to
be
sit
gone.
here.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to get out of this hellhole.
And then they make it like it's their own money that they're letting you off of, isn't it? It's like, well,
okay.
hang on a second, Chris. We got some girl here who's saying she's paid, but she won't know. Yeah, you happy? You sign it off, mate. It's like £2.50. Okay, well, look, this once I've taken a note of your reg plate, and this, fucking hell. All right, mate.
It's £2.50, mate.
It's not your bloody money.
Yeah, it's not your bloody car park.
Just open the barrier
Just
and let me go.
Yeah, because there's a queue forming now, and everyone's beeping. Everyone's getting shitty with me. You're all right, Jack.
And I feel embarrassed.
I feel embarrassed.
I feel like I'm being told off by you. I'm being told off by the car behind.
Yeah.
All I want to do is get out of this hellhole. So will you open the barrier?
The bloody barrier.
Yeah.
Also, just that whole thing about, because now a lot of them are like, you don't have to put the ticket in, do you?
Thank God.
It's all like, yeah, but sometimes they don't work.
Right.
So you go up to the barrier thinking, I've paid,
go.
I have got my ticket, but I won't need it. You go up to the barrier.
I tell you what else is embarrassing, and it shouldn't be, when you have to drive up to automated gates and sit there while they slowly open.
Yes, all of that shit.
Because if you don't get close enough, you don't hit
Exactly.
the sensor.
Yeah.
So you're like inching forward because you're thinking, I don't know which way these gates are going to open.
Are they going to come back at me? Are they going to go forward? Yeah.
And you like inch your way forward and you wait. Oh no, still not close.
Yeah.
Inch a bit more. And then the actual waiting while the gates
it opens
feels very embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
Because you're just like, just waiting for these.
Just wait for the gates to open, guys. It's just taking quite a while.
Just
especially hang on.
If you've got someone in the car that you don't really know.
Yeah.
It's just that start. You've done all your small talk.
Yes, I don't have anything more to say to you now, Trisha.
You've arrived at Checkers. You're waiting.
Nice.
You're waiting for the gate, and you just sat there like. We're sort of at our destination, but we're not really, are we?
Yeah.
We're here, but we're not here.
Is that what are those things that roll?
A tumbleweed.
That's the one.
What are those things that roll?
I couldn't think what they were called then.
No.
I could see it in my mind's eye. I just couldn't think of the word.
You couldn't get tumbleweed.
You couldn't get tumbleweed.
You couldn't highlight it in your
No, I could not.
Word documents that was pissing you off.
Yeah, what is that bloody word?
Yeah.
But also with the barrier thing, similar thing, if you kind of go up to it, you think it's going to recognise my reg number because it's all flash now. You get to the thing, you think, it's obviously not, I'm not close enough to pick it up. So you go a bit closer, you're like, shit, it's not even working now. Then you're like, this happened to me before, because I think I don't need the ticket. I don't know where I've put the ticket.
But then also you've gone so close to the barrier, you've passed the ticket machine.
Yeah.
So you've got to then go back.
Well, and by that point, dickhead behind's already up my arse.
Straight up there.
Yeah. So then I do have to somehow get out of the car because I've probably put the ticket in my bag, which is now in the boot.
Shit.
Get out of the car, get to the boot, get the ticket, put it in.
And the guy behind's thinking, what is this girl doing?
What a prick. What an absolute prick.
Very good, Justin. Things that shouldn't be embarrassing that are.
Very good. From Claire Voku.
Yeah, very good.
Very sexy name. Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary. Urban Dictionary. Right, I have an urban.
Okay.
Felt we haven't done urbans for a while, have we?
Yeah. Not before, but for a while. We have done them before a lot.
Yeah, we have actually. Yeah. Where have you been? Okay, so this week's urban is Severance Lay.
It's got to be something to do with sex.
Well,
is it something to do with sex?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Severance Lay.
A severance lay.
I don't really know what severance means. So this is going to become tricky for me because I instantly thought something to do with Harry Potter, but I don't. It's true.
A Harry Potter lay.
I was thinking of Severus Snape, I think, or whatever his name is. I think you're gonna have to tell me because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem that you don't know what severance is. I
Yeah,
mean, it's great because it's meant we've added some funny.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Okay, well, I'll give you the blurb on
Give me the blurb.
Severance Lay.
The blurb.
When, after ending a relationship, you have sex for the last time, either they break up with you or you with them. My girlfriend is moving out of town, so we're splitting up. I'm swinging by her apartment tonight.
What has happened to your accent? Drop the accent. Do it northern.
Do it northern,
Do it
nice,
northern.
yeah. My girlfriend is moving out of town, so we're splitting up. I'm swinging by her apartment tonight to get my stuff and my Severance Lay.
I watched this girl on Instagram sing Defying Gravity in a northern accent, and it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't get that because I don't know what severance.
Severance is like when you're
Final.
breaking up. Yeah.
Right. When you sever something.
Yes. Exactly that, Patty. Yeah.
Right. So it's basically your shag after you've split up.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, okay. Okay. It's basically that thing of like, let's have one last shag, we split up, but let's do it for old time's sake.
Yeah. So you're going for your Severance Lay.
I mean, yeah.
I reckon Joel will cut that.
Although me saying I don't know what severance means
is actually quite funny.
And I think the lead up to it is funny, so maybe keep it in. But
keep it in. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I would ask you, have you ever had a severance lay?
I haven't, but I know people who have had severance
lays.
They're
very, very popular, aren't they?
I don't know how I feel about a severance lay.
Right. Why is that? What you think once it's done, it's done?
Yeah.
You shouldn't put on an old pair of shoes.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a reason why you put the shoes at the back of the wardrobe is because they pinch, right?
Yeah,
and if you go back, it's going to pinch,
right?
It's because they pinch, right?
Right. What happened to you then?
I don't know. I went very weird there.
You did. Yeah. You went into full. You went into full counsellor mode. You were like, it's I don't put on an old pair of shoes, keep them in the back of the cupboard because they pinch, right?
And actually, they need to look at my hair. I've got a massive quiff in my hair. They've got to stay at the back of the cupboard. So having a severance, you've severed your ties with those shoes. They pinch, they hurt, they're not right, they're not the right fit. It hasn't worked. Don't pick those shoes back out.
No.
Because you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah. You'll
put them on and they might feel comfy to start off with, but by the middle of the day, you're going to be saying, I realise now why these were at the back of the fucking cupboard.
Yeah.
That's what a severance
I also feel like when people break up, there's generally like there's a party that pushes for the breakup and there's a party that's a bit more reluctant.
Do you think? I don't think that's true. I think there's more mutual breakups than people realise.
There will be those mutual ones, but I think I'd say the majority of it is driven generally by one person, and the other person kind of just has to go, okay, you don't want to be with me at all.
Yeah.
So if someone says, but let's just have a quick severance lay,
you wouldn't understand that.
No, you're not laying with me again. You don't want me anymore, Jeff.
Well,
you're not having any more of the punani.
But I think sometimes people break up for lots of different reasons, and perhaps the sex was still good.
I still don't know whether I'd be up for a severance lay.
Right.
I think I'd be just like, no.
I'm going to take it to a poll.
Oh yes.
I'm going to take it to a poll. Yeah.
What about listeners listen up?
Yes.
Have you?
Oh my God, we've created content. Out of a shit urban, we've created content. You're welcome, guys. This is what we do. This is the kind of content
we do really well.
Yeah. This is the content creators that Ange and I have become.
Yeah. Shit ones that occasionally bring some good stuff.
That is very true.
Have you ever had a severance lay? And if so, did you find that a good thing, a bad thing? Did you like it? Do you wish you'd never done it? Basically, send us your Severance Lay stories.
And to make it more likely that people will send them, I will put up an anonymous box over the weekend.
Hello, Pat Sheens.
So there will be an opportunity on my Instagram, because it's only linked to my Instagram.
Yeah.
There will be an opportunity on Ruth_Corden for you to come anonymously and give us your Severance Lay stories. And then I'm also going to do a poll about whether people think they're a good idea or not.
Yes.
So on the Finding the Funny, are you team Angie, once you've put the shoes back in the cupboard, don't go back?
No.
Are you neutral? I don't think there's a problem with the Severance Lay. I actually think lots of people do them. And I think sometimes it can bring closure for people. Because I think they can go, oh God, no, we're definitely right to be
Yeah, well, what if you have the lay and you go, oh shit, actually, I wish I wasn't severing this lay.
Severing this lay. I wish I wasn't severing this lay. Yeah.
You know, I think as much as it can go one way, it can also go the other.
Yeah, and I think that's why we should take it to a poll.
This has actually come to be really good.
This is... You said that so seriously. This has actually come to be really good. Well done.
When I first said it, I thought, this has really landed bad, Angie. What have you been doing all day? Fucking around.
What are you doing with your life? This is
Get yourself on that pilgrimage. Get out.
Get out a bit more. Clear your head. Find something to do, for God's sake. But actually, here we are. Joel can't cut this out now because it's a good percentage of the podcast. It's got to stay in. We've backed him into a corner. He's got no choice. Severance Lay is staying in.
In fact, this episode will probably just be called Severance Lay.
Yes. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, very good.
There we go.
Very good. Felt like a good one this week.
It did. I actually feel quite buoyed up.
You actually feel quite buoyed up.
Do you know sometimes you come on the recorder, you just think, this is going to be a bit of a drag. This is going to be a bit shit tonight.
You know, we're recording later because of me and my fat doctor.
You were going to your fat doctor and all that, and you know, it's a bit like, oh God. But actually, now I feel like I could climb
to a pilgrim.
Kilimanjaro or something.
I feel quite buoyed up. That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. It's like you realised you couldn't just say buoyed. You had to finish it. So up.
That's exactly what happened.
Energised. You could have used lifted. You could have used any of those. You went solid for buoyed. You
went with buoyed.
In strong. I feel quite buoyed.
Buoyed.
Up.
That's exactly what happened in my head.
Yeah.
Buoyed. No. Up. Got to chuck the up on that, Ange. You can't just put buoyed in there. I feel quite buoyed.
Oh, very good. Well, look, remember, there's loads of ways you can get in touch with Ange and I. You can find us both on Instagram. I'm at Ruth_Corden. She's at Ange Corden.
You can find the podcast on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search Finding the Funny Podcast.
Or you can send us an email, findingthefunnypodcast@gmail.com. Ange and I will be back next week helping you to find more of the funny.